Hey kids, this is Rumble Pac podcast. We're trying out a new series called Unboxings. I just got something super cool in the mail. It's called Life is Strange Limited Edition. I don't know how many of you guys played this, but on our podcast it's kind of an important thing. We all seem to like it very much. So I'm going to unbox the limited edition. It just came out. It's about almost 8 months old, the game itself, but the limited edition just launched in January, so we're going to unbox it with you. See, it's not very large, so I mean, that's kind of concerning, but we'll see. Before this, the game never really came out physically, so once it was announced, I decided that it was my game of the year, so I had no choice but to buy it, because I wanted to play it again at the very least, and at least have it on my shelf. So this is the actual game case. You see it has just the game inside, no like instruction manuals or anything, which, I mean, it's 2015, so, or 16 now, I guess. You don't really need instruction manuals in discs. Comes with the art book, which is meant to look like Max's notebook. I really wish, when it was announced, they said it would do that, but I was hoping it would be a larger thing, so this is kind of disappointing in size, but I mean, I guess I shouldn't have expected much for the price. It was only $40, so can't really expect much out of it. I'm going to do a little more in-depth, like, close-up shot after the video. Just like at the end of the video, you'll see everything a little bit closer up, but here's what it looks like. It's really just, it essentially uses the same aesthetic of like the Polaroids and the cutout art in the game, and uses it as its style of design for the book. It's pretty cool. I really wish it was a little bit larger, to be honest. It's not the end of the world, really. See, it's pretty deep there. There's quite a bit of pages, but all the images kind of look the same. It just has all the concept art for the different rooms and all that kind of stuff. So it's about what you'd expect out of an art book. I mean, it's not quite as in-depth as The Last of Us one. The Last of Us one probably had the best art book of any video game I've ever had to get, and I would love to buy it. But I didn't have a PS3 when it came out, and so I'll have to buy it aftermarket, which is pretty expensive. Yeah, so this is pretty cool if you really like the art style in the game. It's just more of that, and I can't imagine why you wouldn't. It was pretty interesting. Yeah, so that's the art book, and there's only one more item in the limited edition, and it's the soundtrack, which, if anyone knows, and I'm pretty sure we mentioned it on the actual podcast, is everybody's favorite part of the game. I mean, outside of the game, but the soundtrack is fantastic. It really fits everything about it, and it's brought me onto a lot of different artists that I really never thought I would have enjoyed until I heard them in the context of the game. And the game really tends to use its music as a vehicle for it. You know, it really fits the setting, and there's lots of moments where Max is just sitting on a bus listening to her headphones, and those are some of the most interesting moments in the game because you get to reflect on what's happening. In all honesty, the reason why I bought this was for the game and the soundtrack. The art book was just kind of a plus, and that might seem silly to some people, but I like owning music physically. I have a record player and everything like that. Because this is a small limited edition, and there isn't much to show, I'm also going to do like a semi-review and explanation of what I liked about the game. No spoilers, just because that would be kind of rude. It's kind of the whole point of the game. It just came out physically, so more people might play it. But, so, to me, Life is Strange was my personal game of the year, like I said earlier, and the reason why it was so good is because it really captured the essence of kids in high school while putting them in this weird, supernatural, like, unexpected, like, why would they be in this situation? And so, like, the story beats work really well, and the cliffhangers after every episode. I feel jealous of everyone who gets to play this all at once, because I had to wait 3-4 months in between every episode before I could really understand or know what was happening. And it was super frustrating, because I was like, what's going to happen next? What's happening next? And the game does a really good way of building suspense. And people might say, you know, what's the point of the feature? Like, your choices don't really have consequences because you can rewind and it kind of lets you see the outcomes of everything. But the whole point is it doesn't let you see like the big picture of the outcomes. It just kind of goes, this is what could happen in the moment, but you don't necessarily know or understand how it will affect you later on, so it really doesn't affect the main story. Fortunately enough, the thing about the game is, and I'm not going to say that its choices don't necessarily matter in the end. Like, they matter, but really what the choices do is they create a mindset. So the choices you make throughout the game, I'm not going to tell you what they are, how they affect it, but they change your perspective on characters in the game, and that will change the end choice. The end choice is there no matter what you do throughout the game, but the end choice, what you choose in the end, will be affected by how you felt about characters in the game and all that kind of stuff. So the choices are almost like they shape your opinion of the story and the characters within it, which allow you to make the final choice. So it's a little bit different. Some people might find that to be not good because they're like, well, my choices made no difference in the end if I did this or this. The same two things, the three things or whatever, could have happened no matter what. And in all fairness, I don't think that's a problem, but some people get upset about that, like the whole Mass Effect 3 ordeal. It never bothered me either. A lot of people's problems with this game, I'm noticing, is they say the dialogue is cheesy, but, and I would pose a question to you guys. When you guys were in high school, didn't you find yourself saying like really dumb things? Like, you'd constantly say like really things that were quote unquote cool, or like slang things that everyone said, but when you're in high school you said it like 100 times more than anyone else who actually said it. So in the game they say like hella a lot, and they say really dumb catchphrases. There's one line that says go fuck yourselfie. Like, I mean, that's kind of lame, but in the context of the characters it makes sense. So it's kind of like a Mean Girls meets Butterfly Effect, which is kind of interesting, you know? So 100% I would recommend playing this game. If you really, really are a diehard fan, I'd say get the limited edition. It's probably sold out now, to be honest, but if you're not like a super diehard fan, the money that you're spending on it might not be worth it. But for someone who loves the soundtrack, loves the art, and is already at the game of the year, it only made sense for me to get it. So, guys, this is the, to summarize it, Life is Strange, limited edition. Like, I'm not going to bet a rating, but I really enjoyed it, and I'm glad I'm going to get to play it again. Although I probably won't play it all the way through. But I really, really enjoyed it, and I'd recommend this game to anyone who really likes storytelling games, adventure games. And yeah, so thanks guys for your time. Thanks for watching. This is Rumble Pac Podcast. You can follow me on Twitter at Stef_Fontana, at my Instagram, Fontana_designs. You can follow Rumble Pac on this YouTube channel. All of our links are in our description. We're going to have a weekly podcast. Every Monday it should come out. As always has been. We've had a few weeks off, but we'll be right back on track. Sorry about that, guys. Hope you have a great evening or whenever you're watching this, and I'll talk to you soon.